on that. Pause. 2 seconds, it started again. Why is it doing that, I wonder? So I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know what that's all about. I've no idea. But of course, it looks like it's settled down. So I'm a bit bewildered by all that. Now then, what I was hoping to do was to touch the screen. That's right. Well, oh, that's better. Right, that's what I've been after all along. Now then, the only trouble is I don't know whether it's still recording because it's gone back. Let's just tap it to see if I can. Oh, it is still recording, so yeah, that's brilliant. It sort of zooms it in. That's better. Yeah, you can get a better shot of my ugly mug. Right, if I just sort of come back here. Right, I did a little video earlier today. I'm just moving this in a more comfortable position, and then I'm sort of central. It would be better if I was up there, but I'm not. I'm back here. You don't want to get my mush too close to the camera. Right, I've done 2 videos earlier today, and they were both round about the half-hour mark, and I compressed them to half the size, and it still wanted 2 hours plus on each video to upload onto YouTube. So of course that's unacceptable. For me, what the sad thing is, you see videos on YouTube, they're that smoky around them, they're unwatchable. The quality of them's terrible. I don't know how they get away with putting them on. When you have a look, they've had over 1 million views. Well, there's something wrong with you people out there. You've either got better eyes than me and you've had carrots all your life, or I haven't, because I can't watch them. In fact, if my video quality was that standard, I wouldn't even bother putting them on. But this little video is a test. I've changed the resolution size in the camera, found out how to do it. And this is going to be a short video. Obviously, it's 9:15 at night now, Sunday, the 22nd of May. And this is just going to be a test. If I can put this on the computer and let it upload, which only takes a few minutes, and then put it in this video compressor and compress it, round about a 15-minute video, and then I'm hoping it comes back and says 18 minutes processing time, or something to that effect anyway. But we will find out. Now then, what happened on the other one, because it was HD quality, I thought it was something as I'd done, the brightness was bright and then it was going dull. But of course what it was, it's the window behind me. The sun had come out and it'd go bright, and the filtering in the camera would darken, and then the sun would go in and it would brighten it up again. So it had me confused, or bewildered actually, so that's a better word, bewildered. Yeah, so I did think, is it the camera? No, obviously it's not, it's just the weather conditions. So I was asked something about bus drivers, terrible bus drivers. Well, I'm not saying all bus drivers are terrible, but the question what comes up all the time, and I can understand, because obviously I drive a car also. I must sort of firstly say, when I'm out in my car, if there's a bus in front of me, or we have to come to a standstill, there's a bus coming, I give the bus plenty of room. I wouldn't dream of going anywhere near him. How much of the road they require, unless you've driven a bus, you wouldn't have a clue. But the favourite what always comes up with motorists is, why does the bus pull out on me? And what they're getting at when a bus goes into a bus stop, whether he's picking up or dropping off. Because of how bus stops and bus stops in general, some have got a shelter. They've usually all got a flag on, stating it's a bus stop. Most of them have normally got a litter bin stuck on the post, or they've got a shelter with a big litter bin sticking out. But if you're a bus driver, you get to know, if you go in and you get too close, you'll bang the litter bin, so we avoid that. If you go in too close to the flag on a bus stop, you lose your mirror. It'll knock the mirror in, so we're well aware of that. But because we go into a bus stop, it's an angle, and what I'm talking about by an angle, I mean the front end of the bus is right over to the pavement, and the back end of the bus might be sticking out 2 foot. Because there's usually a car parked very close to a bus stop as well. And that is the other reason. But of course, we need to get as close to the pavement as possible. But you can't get all the bus over to the pavement. And what motorists are saying is the buses pull out on them. Well, I'm not saying all bus drivers are bad. But they're not, and the reason you think they're going to pull out on you is because they're looking through a little tiny mirror to see what's behind them. On the driver's side, the mirror on the driver's side. So they're in at the bus shelter, the bus stop at an angle. They've got to move that bus slightly so as they can see if there's anything coming up behind them. They might have to move 4-6 foot to level the bus up so as they can see. And it's that what motorists are getting at. The bus is pulling out on them. The bus isn't pulling out on you. The bus is manoeuvring so as you can see as it's safe to pull away. Now it might panic. It may panic some of you motorists thinking, he's coming out on me. He's not coming out at all. He's getting in a safe position where he can see clearly. That's all as they're doing. I probably do it 1,000 times a day. Most bus drivers would. So don't panic. Don't get honking your horn. We've seen you. We're fully aware as you're there. Don't know what you're panicking about. Nothing whatsoever to panic about. It's just normal. If it wasn't a bus, if it was a wagon, they would do exactly the same thing. But of course, you motorists, your van drivers, your car drivers, of course you know better than bus drivers. Bus drivers have to go through some real tight testing of driving. Exams. Are they fit to be in service? We have to have a medical regular. And when things go wrong, it's always the bus driver's fault. He pulled out on us. He went too fast. Did he? I don't really think so. I'm not saying as it doesn't happen, but I don't really think so. Very highly qualified. Every bus driver is. They have to be. If they weren't, they wouldn't have the licence. Things do go wrong, of course. Of course they go wrong, it goes without saying. But honestly, give a bus driver a bit of room. And the other thing which always amazes me, a bus is coming down towards you and there's a parked car, perhaps each side of the road. The bus driver will make allowances for that. So what does motorists do coming in the other direction? He'll come right down to the two parked cars, one each side of the road. And he can see there's not enough room for the bus to go through. But he'll stop and flash it. He'll flash the bus through. And I always gesture this to him. Like that. I can't get through the gap because they parked the car there. Which they are encouraging me to go through a gap which doesn't exist. But of course, we're pretty good judges of gaps. We know whether it'll fit through or not. So that's the other thing. If you see a bus, you can see a gap, a bit of a gap. Stay back if you're going to let the bus come through. Stay well back and let him through. It's no good coming tight up to the parked car. Are you frightened the car behind you might get in front? Well, there wouldn't be any point, would there? Because he can't get through the gap either. Has he got a thinner car than you? It'd be brilliant if all buses were actually car size, the width of them. If they were car width, it'd be brilliant. Yeah, there wouldn't be any delays anywhere. None whatsoever. But I'll tell you something, as all large vehicle drivers, we would love the British driving test to consist of, you must drive a large vehicle as part of your test. You must be aware of how much road these big vehicles require. You can come on roundabouts, and of course a bus driver's got to pinch, he's got to go over the white line, he's got to pinch a bit more of the road, otherwise his back wheels will go over the pavement and perhaps hit a lamppost or a bollard of some sort. And your average motorist thinks he's pinching, he's cutting me up. We're not cutting anybody up. We just need a little bit more of the road. So we would love for it to become law where anybody sitting the driving test has to drive a large vehicle before they can get the licence. And we would love for them to have to pass an exam on a large vehicle, just to make them aware of how much of the road a bus requires. And then perhaps it would stop a lot of this ridiculous situations with cars, and things go wrong, they have a prank, it's the bus driver's fault. Not the bus driver's fault. In most cases, it's the motorist's fault. So there you are, have a little think on that. I've got lots and lots of bus stories which I intend at some time putting them to video, and we'll transfer them onto video and perhaps enlighten you about one or two more little things. I can remember this. Think on this. Just think on this before I go. I'm only making this a short video. I was once on a bus station in Crewe, and I was picking passengers up. Now, cars are not allowed on bus stations. There's a big sign up on most bus stations making Mr. Car Driver or Mrs. Car Driver. They're not allowed on there. No entry. Buses only. But anyway, we're on Crewe this evening, and unbeknownst to me, a car had come on the bus station and parked right behind me. Most buses don't have a video so as they can see behind them. Not aware of what's behind them. Of course, you can see if there's a bus behind you. So of course, the bus driver sitting at the front of the bus, it's 40 foot long. He's got a little window, which is about 7 feet off the floor. Mr. Car Driver comes and parks behind me. I don't know he's there. So when it was time to go, I peeps the horn, puts it in reverse, and off we go. And the more I locked this bus over, the more a car appeared in my mirror. And I thought, what the blooming heck's going on here? Yeah, you've guessed it. I came off the stand, pushed his car back about 30 feet. And when I'd realised what was happening, and I stopped the bus and got out and investigated. I couldn't believe this motorist. He says, I parked there because I've come to meet my mum off the National Express. I said, well, why did you park behind the bus? There's car parks nearby you could have used. No, he said, I'll only go and be a minute. I said, well, it only takes a minute to write your car off, and obviously that one's wrote off. And he weren't too pleased. But I said to him, I said, listen, if you were going to meet your mum from the train station, would you have parked your car behind the train? You know what he says? Well, no, I can't get my car down to the tracks. So that told me if he could have done, he'd have gone down there. Absolutely unbelievable. Mr. Motorist, give the bus driver a bit of room and we can all continue with our journeys more safely and happily. Well, there you are, that's it. I'm going to see if I can get this to go small now. I'm tapping it. There you are, that's a bit better. 15.5 minutes, which is more than adequate for what I want on this particular test. So I'll go and do this now. I'm guessing it's about 9 o'clock in the evening. So I'll go sort it out. If it says it's going to be done in less than an hour, I'll put it on YouTube tonight. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, away we go.